Is there any more? Yeah, there's a couple more. Eh?
Yeah. Oh, this is itchy.
Maybe we could add lunch and chicken fees.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Do you have an extra copy of the agenda? Other than just that.
That's too itchy on my face.
Right on. Thanks.
You're always dressed so nice, Moz.
Oh, thank you.
Nice shirt.
We need a clothing store in town.
You do.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Have you got an extra pen?
I don't like ordering online. You just never
Yeah.
really know what you're gonna get.
Mhm. Yeah, I know.
Okay, Lorna, yeah, you can go ahead and turn that owl on. It is on, thanks. All right, let's call our regular meeting to order. I've got a motion moved by Councillor McPherson and seconded by Councillor Belfontaine that council adopts the agenda of regular meeting RM09-2021 as, I'll say amended because I would like to add one item, the landfill tipping fees, and maybe we'll put that as 11D under new business, tipping fees. Any other additions or changes that any councillors would like to suggest? All right, well then,
Is there anything about the river break up here?
not really, but I might talk a little bit about it in mayor report about our emergency planning meeting.
So
Upcoming.
we don't think we should have it as a
Separate
separate agenda
standalone
item,
item?
so if there is any discussion in the future, we can, I don't know.
Well,
Or after the report, if you think the next
Yeah,
meeting, we can.
you
okay.
might want to add it after that,
Okay.
yeah. Ooh. All right, so as amended, all in favor of adopting the agenda? Okay, and Councillor Sibiston, are you in favor of the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, and Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got 7 in favor, none against,
Do you have
And
any,
motions.
any more agendas?
carried. Oh, we can, you want to print that
I'll
one?
print
out?
another one.
Okay. And the next item on the list, any declarations of interest in any of the items tonight? All right, none noted. For absences, we don't have any. We've got 2 councillors there, and Councillor Sibiston are both online. And we do not have any delegations this evening. We've got a couple sets of minutes to adopt, and I've got a motion moved by Councillor Hassan, seconded by Councillor Lafferty, that council approve the minutes of regular meeting 06-20 of April 6, 2021, as presented. If anyone has any comments to make, yes?
It's written RM07 on the agenda.
Okay. So it's most likely
Typo.
07. Does anyone have the minutes in front
It
of them?
says here RM07 on top. And then the next page is the minutes of the regular meeting RM06.
Yeah.
So And it continues as 06.
So it's 07?
It should be, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, then, I'll just change the motion with, the okay of the mover and seconder to read, that council approved the minutes of RM 07-2021 of April 6, 2021 as presented. All those in favor? I've got 5 hands showing, and Councillor Siviston? Are you in favor?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, 7 votes in favor, none against. Motion's carried. Second sets of minutes. I have a mover, Councillor Lafferty, seconder, Councillor McPherson, that council approved the minutes of regular meeting 08-2021 of April 19, 2021 as presented, unless anybody has any changes. All right, show of hands, all in favor? There are 5 hands in favor, and Councillor Siviston, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Deputy Mayor, are you in favor?
Yes.
Okay, 7 in favor, none against. Motion's carried, and those minutes are adopted. Moving along to reports. Mayor's report. Well, I'd like to report on one item of significance that we're dealing with right now in regards to the emergency plan and the possible evacuation of people off the island. And that is with regard to evacuating people to Yellowknife. In our emergency planning, which we've been doing weekly for the last 4 or 5 weeks, we pretty well understood that we had it planned that people would be, those ones needing to go to Yellowknife because they weren't self-sufficient here and didn't have accommodations and what have you, would be airlifted to Yellowknife. Transportation would be arranged by the territorial government, and people would be staying in hotels once they got to Yellowknife. I was told on Friday by the MACA superintendent that no, that wasn't actually the case, that people would be flown to Yellowknife, but they would be situated at the field house, which is an indoor soccer facility in Yellowknife by the Twin Pad Arena, and that there would be up to 200 cots available for people to be staying in this facility.
Okay.
That was on Friday. I talked to a number of people in the community, including the chief. I got a lot of feedback, which was like entirely negative on that. Nobody wanted to go, and I guess, you know, a lot of it has to do with the quickly changing circumstances in Yellowknife, that COVID seems to be spreading quickly. Yellowknife is starting to shut down, and the last thing people want to do is go to a crowded facility where the chances of possibly picking up COVID would be increased. It's not like a hotel room where you could basically self-isolate yourself and sit inside, watch TV, and order in meals. This would be one of those situations where there's so many people, it only takes a few going out in amongst the city and then coming back with a contact and possibly spreading it. And then if it goes into that group of people and they come back to Simpson, we've acquired COVID in the community. So, and people can figure these things out, and they just said, no way, we don't want it. So I've been bringing it up with the MLA. He sent messages to the Premier and the Health Minister and the MACA Minister.
Better.
I brought it up this morning again with MACA locally. Apparently they've been in discussions with the Chief Public Health Officer in Yellowknife. They know that we do not want to go into the field house. I was speaking to the press this afternoon about the situation, and we're waiting for an answer. They know we're having another emergency planning meeting tomorrow morning, and I made it fairly clear that we needed some kind of direction by tomorrow morning. Reason being, if we know that people here will refuse to get on a plane because they're going to be put in a crowded facility, that we may end up needing to adjust our plan, perhaps to somehow accommodate those people in Simpson, something which we've been told over and over that wasn't necessary and we shouldn't be focused on, because if somebody didn't have the ability to take care of their accommodations, the government was going to take care of them up in Yellowknife by putting them in a hotel. So that's where we're at, just so people know. And we'll be having our emergency planning meeting tomorrow morning. And that's as much as I can update people on that. Any questions? Okay, well, I'll keep you posted as information becomes available. And I think there is going to be on May 7th, there's going to be another one of the call-ins with the COVID update arranged with NWT Association of Communities and possibly with the CPHO online. I know the deputy mayor has asked about being on that call, so I'll send you the information, Deputy Mayor, if you don't already have it. And you know, we'll be keeping up, I guess, on the situation in Yellowknife that way. Yes, Councillor Hassan.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think, you know, from what I understood or what I believe in the government department, they don't like documentation. They can talk to you verbally and they will say things and later they come and deny it. I believe as we are the council of this town, what we should do, we should write a letter to each department. For the health and social service, we are concerned with the elders of the in the long term, people in the clusters. We should write to the health, to the housing in regards to the other group of elders living in the other place. We need them to respond to us. Yeah, in the meeting they come and they will say, "Oh, we are ready." How are you ready? Where are you going to locate these people who will not be able to move normal as other people who they don't have vehicles? We want to know a real plan. That what is your plan, so we can at least hold them with that, hold them accountable with their answer. But if they, we have our plan, what is it?
Yeah.
Those residents are our residents, so we should be really very careful about that. Before the meeting, I believe we should draft a request or a letter to each department that what are you guys gonna do? Thank you.
Yeah, I think there's some value to getting things in writing for sure. As far as I know, in answer to your question there, I was told today that the elders who aren't going to a medical facility would be going to field house. The same as all the rest of us.
Let them give that in writing so we can give it to the media.
That's what I was told this morning.
Know.
So when I heard that, I said, well, I think we're going to have to talk to the health department again, because that's not really where we want them going. And have they been explained what it is that's potentially in the cards for them? And, you know, do families here, let's say for the elders, the home care elders, do they understand what's happening to their parents and grandparents, that they're going to be brought into this holding facility and possibly mixed in with quite a few other people? And just, I think at that point, you know, we just, go ahead.
You know, right now, we're in a situation where things could change very rapidly. I don't think we should waste our time arguing with the government. I think we should start looking at a second alternate,
Back up.
such as Hay River or some other community rather than send them to Yellowknife, because I think Yellowknife is probably thinking the same way as we are. They don't want to bring in, they don't want people to leave Yellowknife right now. They don't want people to come in, so maybe that's where we should be leaning towards, not saying, well, we're going to write them a letter and say we don't want this, because it's not going to make any difference, because things could change tonight for all we know. So I think at the meeting tomorrow, these are the things that we should be talking to the government departments about.
Yeah.
Right?
I think, did you hear anything about that meeting tomorrow?
No.
I heard unofficially that it was postponed.
Which one, our EMO?
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of the ministers' meeting.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
all that's
that
been,
isn't happening.
all
Yeah,
that's
okay.
canceled, yeah.
Because of COVID.
Yeah, so I think, rather than, we're not going to Yellowknife. The elders aren't gonna go to Yellowknife. Hay River has places that we can,
Yeah.
well, Hay River might be flooding.
Yeah, they might be
Yeah,
full
they
up.
could
We might have to go to Fort Smith where there's cases there too.
Yeah, but not like Yellowknife.
Not as
I mean, we
bad,
wish
yeah.
Yellowknife the best.
Yeah,
And everything, but
but we don't
Yeah.
wanna jeopardize our seniors or elders.
Especially
Yeah.
when you're gonna put everybody in one room like that, like 200
yeah,
cots, that's ridiculous.
And then what if the power
Especially
goes
at a-
out and
at a
they
time like
evacuate up
this.
on the hill too?
and the plan is, so if people in Jean Marie flood, they're going to the field house. People in Liard flood, they're going to the field house.
Oh,
And then if we flood,
kidding.
we're going to the field house.
Oh, my
They
That-
don't have room for.
That's
all
the
of us.
plan.
That's ridiculous.
And that's why the
No
plan
way.
is no good.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Yeah, even like Hay River, they do have the main town that
Mhm.
doesn't flood, eh?
Yeah.
So I mean, people could even drive over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the possibility that we support people to stay here, like if the water goes to 15, it still hasn't really gone into very many people's houses. And people will be wanting to stick around to see if the water just clears. Until we get the situation resolved one way or the other, I see supporting people here by even buying tents and sleeping bags if we had not have it, would be a cheaper option for the government as well than shipping them all over the country. Unless you have medical issues or something, and then, yeah, we could take a look at shipping them to Smith or Hay River if they don't flood. But Yellowknife is a hot zone right now,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
maybe we just
it's-
gotta be flexible in our thinking. And
Yeah,
adapt
I
to
think
to the changing environment here. I think that's what emergency planning is all about. So we shouldn't, get too upset. This is just what happened, and but I want the government to adapt as well. I want them to see the value in, look, we'll do the best we can, and we've got to go a little bit with the wishes of the people here. And maybe this community will pull together pretty good too in trying to help everybody who wants to stay. If by chance we end up off the island and waiting for the water to drop. Councillor Hassan.
Thank you. Still, I think we have the right to be upset if we look at the whole image or the whole view. The same government that was wasting millions of dollars in COVID secretariat when we have an emergency that we need to deal with. Instead of helping us, they want to put our people in that bad situation. For Simpson community, they are very healthy people. They don't have COVID. We don't have COVID. Honestly, we don't, even for hotels, we don't want to be, even if we send those people to hotels, we don't want to be sending them to a hotel where they have their self-isolate. We have other requirements that we have to be clear from now. And honestly, we have all the right to be upset, and we have all the right to say whatever we want to say about our situation. You guys wasting money, those guys wasting money. And when it comes to real work, they don't want to help. So we have to be really aggressive on that. And honestly, we cannot discuss anything. We can, but it's better if we discuss everything regarding this matter and share it with the public. The public deserves to know. Everyone in this Fort Simpson deserve to know. I know the government is they don't like that definitely, but I've been in so many emergencies and disasters. One of the main communication way of reducing the risk and reducing the hazard is to share whatever information you have with the public so they can be equipped, they can be prepared. But right now the government is preparing their way for us, which we don't even like how it looks. When the reality or when we face the fact, I think we're going to be really upset. We don't want to lose those people. We don't want them to be exposed to other problems. We don't want even them to be exposed to Yellowknife people. Why the premier and her ministers or her cabinet canceled their trip to Fort Simpson because of COVID? They are worried about COVID, and we are going there. No, if we send our people there, we have the right to decide what's best for our community. That's all what I want to say. Thank you.
Yes, no,
Especially
thank
if
you.
you're gonna have 200 people in one little area, that's
Really bad.
crazy. Like, especially at a time like this, let them go and stay there.
Yeah. They've actually closed their municipal facilities.
Well, yeah.
So that place, the field house, is closed to anybody in Yellowknife. And they're gonna open it up so they can put Fort Simpson people in.
Yes, but how many people are gonna stay right there all the time? I mean, you're gonna go into town, you're
That's
gonna
what
go
will happen.
shopping, you're gonna go
Yeah.
visit,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I like what Councilor McPherson's idea. We have to look for other alternatives for
Yes,
Smith,
definitely.
Hay River, whatever. This is better. This is a very good backup plan. Thank you, Councilor
so
McPherson.
the idea that would be put in there, that you say people will leave, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll be told they can't leave.
Well, I'm
So
really
this is
thinking
why I
about
want to know for
staying now.
sure what we're sending people
Two
into,
cents on the hill.
because people have a right to know exactly what are the risks, where are they going, and what can they look forward to. But what I hear from people is, if we leave town, we're certainly not going into Fieldhouse.
Oh, no.
There are people who just have the ability to go rent a hotel room or to go to a different town, and that's fine. But there are some here that are just going to be reliant on whatever plan we come up with, and we got to do it in the most safe way for them. So, I guess this harkens back to why about 6 weeks ago I spoke up in the paper and I said, I wish that the territorial government would assist communities with more pre-planning. And what I meant by that was we could be having tents, sleeping bags, foamies, a tent area, camping area set up with wood, water, and cooking facilities and things like that. Those aren't big dollars that we're talking about, but it was something that we were discouraged into looking at because, first of all, the government said we will not cover any of those expenses prior to an actual emergency. And even if the emergency was called, you won't get paid to take care of that because we have an alternate plan for getting people to a safe place, and here it is. So they really left us in a bit of a state where, okay, I guess, and if it's to a hotel, we were thinking, well, I guess that's kind of hard to argue against if somebody has the choice between a tent and going to a hotel in Yellowknife. But that was before this COVID stuff broke out in Yellowknife. Certainly now we have about a week to go. A week to 10 days, I'd say. Yes. Anybody else?
I would just, Sean, it's Randy Citizen. I'm just hoping to encourage the village of Fort Simpson to explore a secondary water source off the island in order to fill up the water truck so it could continue to deliver water to Wild Rose. in the event of a flood. And I think it's important to look at an emergency source of water off the island.
How are we gonna do that?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the spring water that we take off the other side of the Snai. There's a valve on it. It is a well, a bit of an artesian well. We know where it is. We'll talk to our staff and see if that's something that can be looked at. Okay.
Because
It's an option.
the prospect of people running out of water and having no sewage and none of those services, anywhere in the community, it's bad enough if we lost that on the island, but for us to lose that on top of the hill as well may not be necessary.
Yeah.
Well, if we're short of water, people should try to use their outdoor toilets if they have them. I know quite a few people have them on the hill, but I'm
That's
sure
the
there's.
build one.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay,
But
well, get some more
I
details.
Instead of
guess-
flush toilets take a lot of water.
yeah, but we're working on it, and by tomorrow we're probably going to have a better idea where we're moving towards here. It's just a last minute change up, I guess, and we'll see where it goes. Just so people know, we're on top of it, and residents will be kept safe and they'll be kept informed. That's what we can make a promise about. Councilor Morrow, you had something to say?
I was just thinking, it seems a little ridiculous the more I think about it, but couldn't we ask for tents and mobile model water treatment facility or whatever? Like, can we ask the government to ask the military to fly something in?
If it came down to it.
Can't really go to Yellowknife. Worried about water treatment for the people that do stay.
Yeah, and this is kind of the whole crux of the matter is we can prepare as much as we want. We'll have to cover the costs.
Yeah.
Because the territorial government, even though it knows that risks are perhaps a little higher this year, are unwilling to pay in advance of the actual declaration of a regional emergency. And it seems that once the emergency is called, unless you do what they say, you're not going to get funding for it. So really, while we can do whatever we want, we don't have to listen to them. We can do whatever we want. It will be out of our pockets. But in some cases, we may want to do that. And we may be able to access help from other departments or agencies, as you say. Maybe they would be willing to do certain things. ENR sets up forestry camps all the time with the cooking facilities. Why that can't be set up on top of the hill,
Yeah.
I don't know. But these will be things that we might start talking about more tomorrow with the planning committee. It's a 2-hour meeting tomorrow, and I imagine this will be one of the highlights of the meeting. Okay, well, moving on. SAO report.
Just a couple of things. We got an update on our ISIP applications. For the splash park, the ISIP application was approved. Just a reminder for everyone, that covers 75% of the cost of the splash park, and the other 25% would be paid for by the village through CPI. The plan is for the elephant park, a splash park on one half, a new playground on the other side, and a shelter with barbecue area, public barbecue in the middle. So that got approved. We also had put in an application through the Healthy Communities Initiative Fund for $250,000 in case the ISIP application didn't get approved. And we should hear back about that within the next few weeks. So if we get that as well, that will cover our 25% and then some, so we can have the upgrade from the existing plan. The pool installation was approved. We'll do that first thing next spring, early summer. And the landfill application was not approved. we'll be having a look at the capital plan and adjusting it, and we'll see if we can free up enough money to at least get started on some of that work.
Okay,
That's all I've got.
okay. Thank you, SAO Corrigan. And congratulations on your first day of work
Thank you.
as our new SAO.
Thank you.
All right,
I haven't signed it yet.
what's that?
No,
All right, so moving on to table items and old business.
you forgot D. What was your D?
Well, that was just the SAO report there, although it
Well, we
Does-
already went through that.
does
New
deal with
business.
these contribution agreements, and we do have motions
Oh,
for
yeah.
them.
Yeah,
So yeah, we'll get to that, which is 11 new business,
Mhm.
and under 11A, I have a motion regarding the splash park, moved by Councillor Lafferty, seconded by Councillor McPherson, that council approve and sign the transfer agreement Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, which provides funding up to $262,500 towards the planned splash park for Fort Simpson. Any discussion on that item? All right, a show of hands, all in favor? 5 in favor, and Councillor Siviston, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Deputy Mayor? Deputy Mayor, are you still with us? Maybe she's on mute. Maybe we lost her.
Not a loss, right?
Oh, I'm calling again, she says. Okay.
Is he battery?
It's good. Battery's good.
the motion's passed.
Yeah, we lost the deputy mayor, but I'm going to mark that as 6 votes in favor. And, oh, wait a minute. Hello, Deputy Mayor.
Hi.
Did you, did you hear the motion that we just read regarding the splash park?
No.
Okay, it was that council approve and sign the transfer agreement, Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, which provides funding up to $262,500 towards the planned splash park for Fort Simpson. And I got 6 votes in favor, and then when I checked, you were disconnected. So, did you have anything to say about this one, or?
No, if there's discussion and everybody's in favor, I'm in favor too.
Oh, okay, I'll mark that down as 7 votes in favor then, none against. Motion's carried. And I'll just sign that right there. Okay, and on item 11B, which is the pool installation, I've got a motion moved by Councillor Lafferty, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that council approve and sign the transfer agreement, Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, which provides funding up to $288,750 towards the planned installation of the community pool here in Fort Simpson. Any discussion on that item? Okay, all those in favor, hands? 5 hands in favor. Councillor Siviston, are you in favor?
Yep.
And Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
All right, 7 in favor, none against. Motion's carried. Again, I just signed the agreement. And 11C, which is subject matter is COVID-19 Safe Restart Funding. We've got a motion moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Lafferty, that council approve and sign the transfer agreement, COVID-19 Safe Restart Funding, agreement number 2, which provides funding in the amount of $68,320 to cover direct costs associated with responding to the pandemic. Any discussion on this item? All right, a show of hands, all in favor? 5 hands. And Councillor Sibiston?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
All right, 7 in favor and none against. Motion's carried. And I'll be signing that agreement right now. Okay. All right, so 11D, tipping fees. And maybe I will turn this over to the SAO to introduce the subject.
Yeah, so just, I was hoping to pass a resolution to waive the tipping fees for residential customers again this year, for the month of May, as we do every year. And also, to approve, I'm not sure, do we normally do a resolution for large item pickup? Or just for the tipping fees?
Both.
So I was wondering if council be interested this year in doing a blanket resolution for every year, so we don't have to bring this back. If everyone's happy with that, we'll just, we'll say residential customers for the whole month of May, and large item pickup to be scheduled as administration see fit. That works for everyone.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
When it comes to blanket resolution, is it a resolution or it should be a bylaw? It should go for first, second, and third reading. Think so. Is there anything called blanket resolution?
Well, it's just
I think
it's a resolution
We can
approving that we
approve.
do
I
this
think
every year.
the best way is we can approve it, and
Yeah.
we can have a bylaw for that for the month of May, and add it to the bylaws. Then
Or
we
to our landfill. Yeah, I think we have tipping fees and what have you in a
it has to be
landfill
bylaw.
bylaw,
Yeah.
which we could write in there as a permanent change. So maybe we will just say for May 2021,
Then we can work on a bylaw.
large garbage pickup. Now, is this going to include picking up trees that people?
We did last year.
There-
I think that's a good thing to include every year as part of promoting fire smarting.
For the fire smarting, right?
Yeah.
Pick up. Which will include forest debris, placed along the road or the ditch, I guess. Ditch. As part of homeowners fire smarting. Okay, well, let me just read that. Yes,
Does it include old vehicles too?
Yeah.
It does?
the large garbage pickup does, for residential, yeah. So not from a business, but if somebody had an old car or something, we'll take it.
There's a lot of old vehicles in this yard. And it's
Right,
our dear worker, late Stephen.
right,
There's a lot of stuff in his yard.
right.
Just
Yeah,
wondering
no,
if they
we
want
do
help
it.
with that.
Yeah.
He
I
loved
can
that
reach
car.
out to.
He's got a 1968 Gremlin in his car, in his driveway, that people have offered him thousands for.
Yes, I know.
Is that right?
And he
Yeah.
refused.
Well,
Yeah, so whether, how many he wants to get rid of or I don't know. But yeah, no, that's normally part of it though.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the motion would read, mover and seconder, if the motion is acceptable, to waive tipping fees for residential customers. I guess I should put to waive village landfill tipping fees. To waive village landfill tipping fees for residential customers during the month of May 2021 and schedule large garbage pickup, which will include forest debris placed along the ditch as part of homeowners' fire smarting. Who wants to move that motion? Okay, I'll go Councillor Morrow and Councillor Hassan as a seconder. Any further discussion on this motion? All right, all those in favor? 5 hands in favor, and Councillor Sibiston? Are you in favor?
Yes.
And Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, 7 votes in favor, none against. Motion's carried. All right, moving along to items under 12. 2 bylaw issues. The first one to do with the third reading of the appointment of our SAO. A motion moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Lafferty, that bylaw 2021-001, appointment of the senior administrative officer, be read a third and final time. Any discussion on this third reading? Of course, this is to the final appointment of Kevin Corrigan as our SAO. Okay, can I see a show of hands? All in favor? 5. And Councillor Sibiston
Yes.
and Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
Okay, that's 7. None against. Motion's carried. Oh, I guess I should say now. Congratulations.
Can I just say, I just want to say I'm very appreciative, very blessed by the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, and we wish you very well.
Yes.
Looking forward to working with you.
Now we've got the second bylaw, which is again the third reading. And these two, okay, well, this one has to do with the mill rate bylaw. And I've got a motion moved by Councillor Hassan, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that bylaw 2021-002-2021, the mill rates, well, they are the 2021 mill rates, be read a third time. And so it's the second bylaw of the year, and it's the 2021 mill rates. So of course, as was described in the previous meeting, none of the mill rates have been changed. All the rates are the same as the previous year. If everybody's okay with that, I'll get a show of hands. All in favor? 5 in favor. Councillor Sibiston?
Yeah.
And Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, 7 in favor, none against. Motion's carried. Correspondence and information. Well, we had, I guess, the letter regarding the infrastructure program from MACA. Did we have any other items attached to the? No?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. So that was about it. And council matters and concerns. I'll give councilors a chance. Go around the table and include the ones online if they want to let us know about any of their issues or concerns. Perhaps I'll start with Councillor McPherson.
Well, just thinking about spring cleanup and how we're looking at pick with, like I look at Dan Page's lot, and there's Lauren Descharme. He's got vehicles out in the front there, and
Which is
Lauren Descharme, her Gail Villeneuve lives.
Up
It's
by
right
Delbert
beside
Bailey.
the
Okay.
McPherson
No, the
historical,
McPherson house.
Yeah.
historical site. Have we ever done anything? Have we ever approached them as to, they're because that's a residential area that Mr. Page is on, and I know this has been brought up before, but I don't know if anybody has written him or given him some sort of notice to clean it up a bit. You know, it's a residential area, and if any big kids get, I don't know, I just feel it's a safety issue. And the same with that derelict garage over here. When we're talking about cleaning up, let's be serious.
Yeah.
That's my concern.
Yeah.
And that,
Okay,
I'm really happy.
good one. Councillor Hassan,
No, I don't have anything. Thank
Okay.
you.
Councillor Belfontaine.
I don't have anything, just nothing to add, except that, like Liza was saying, there are other places, I know there's a place on the main street further to the end that the fence, down by Kevin Bugger place, where the fence is falling to the road now, it's all boarded up. But there's a few places like that, even if they were just made a little bit safer, I mean, you can't expect somebody to pay to have the place torn down or restored or something, but maybe just letters to see if we can have them made safer.
Mhm.
But yeah, I thought that was a good one, but I don't have anything to add.
Okay. Councillor Morrow.
Same, nothing.
Okay. Councillor Lafferty.
I found the odd person in town express some fear of the flood, if there's going to be one. And I'm just wondering what could we do a letter to the community about that, or because it's not good for people to have fear like that,
Yeah.
in case there's going to be a flood. What if there isn't a flood? And it's just not good to have that fear about it. Sure, it could flood, but I mean, if we're going to get off the island, we'll be okay. But it's and this was one of them was a young person, and I just didn't care to see that.
Yeah.
It's not good to have fear.
Well, I know we have to do another round of flyers based on, I guess, whatever changes come out of this meeting tomorrow. And maybe we could focus on less on just point by point, here's what happens at each. We could also say that, the village, working with the rest of the community emergency planners and other organizations, is working to keep people safe. That, our concern is their safety first. No matter what happens, they don't need to worry, because we're going to do whatever we can to ensure that things go smoothly for them. I think that's, we tell them they have to be as prepared as they can, but that in the end we're there to make sure people are safe, and maybe that'll give them some confidence.
How about that radio?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I think we gotta start using our radio station a little bit more. And I think maybe tomorrow at the meeting we can, because we're prepared, like the workers are ready, and if they have to go be called out to come in, make some emergency announcements, are ready.
Yeah.
So we can discuss that tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Because the radio is a better way than just
Yeah.
mouth to mouth.
Yeah, I like that.
Mhm.
It's a good suggestion,
Yeah.
Councilor person. Okay, so that's it, Councilor Lafferty?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you very much. And Councilor Siddiston? Any issues or concerns?
Not right now, just a water issue. I think that emergency source is really important, because it just makes all the difference between people having sanitation available. Even if things are not going well on the island and the water's coming up and people start leaving, at least, there's all those houses at the top of the hill, and everybody up on the hill is not going to be without any service. That's more of an emergency than, like nobody would have to be flying anywhere as long as those buildings up on the hill are being maintained, then people could bill it or camp in people's yards and stuff because they're still getting water.
Yeah.
But without that water, it turns into an emergency right away. So as much as people don't want to go to the field house in Yellowknife, you might want to think about getting an alternative water source just in order to plan for that.
Yeah, maybe we'll get like a status update on that, have staff go take a quick look at that, see if the valve functions, see if there's water coming out of it, just, see where we're at with that, at least, check it.
It's not easy to get to.
No, right now we might still be going through the snow to find it. but at least we'll put that on the radar of things to do.
And what about plastic containers, like bigger water containers? You know, is there
Yeah,
a place where a person can get any of those?
well,
Not really big, but you know, there are some that are certain size that.
yeah, Northern Store might
use.
Well,
have
I
some.
don't, I
Community
don't.
garden
Ian-
has.
ENR has some, and I think these are things that we can bring it to
Yeah.
the ENR as to what kind of resources are out there, and should we need them, you know. We can sit here all night and bring up these ideas, but, it's a good point, because I know we have some, LKFN has water tanks up at NOAA that we always use for spring gatherings, and they're fair size. We
Yeah.
can bring them over to that
Yeah,
site.
people are just using that for drinking water, it lasts a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, so, so like those things we have to identify at the meeting tomorrow and see.
Yeah.
Because we don't know where we are with the water levels, and so,
Okay,
enough.
that's good. Okay, thanks for that, Councillor Siviston. And Deputy Mayor, did you have any further comments or issues?
No, I fully agree with Marie and everybody else here talking about, communications about what to expect if there's an evacuation. And I did mention it at our last meeting with Daryl that I think the evacuation committee should come up with a good communications plan. At that time, I said, when I was living on the island so many years ago, nobody's ever told me that, should there be a flood, you should shut off your water and your propane, etc. So I know I checked the flyer that you guys sent in our mailbox, but I think that idea that about the radio is really good. You can catch a lot of people during bingo, and I think they would really appreciate a short little message there. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, SAO Corrigan, are there any council in-camera items tonight?
No.
No? All right, so then that will bring us to the end of our meeting. I've got a motion moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bellefontaine, that council adjourn regular council meeting RM09-2021 at 7:58 p.m. All those in favor? 5 hands in favor. Councillor Siviston, are you in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, and Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
All right, so we got 7 in favor, none against, and brings our meeting to an end. Thank you, everybody, for coming out this evening.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.